It's a measure of superiority or not. You can correct me if it isn't, but 14 corners you forced today. Brackley didn't have a single one in the entire game. Is that a sign of dominance or not?
Well, we work really hard on defending corners. No, I think it's probably it is a sign of dominance. I mean, although because of the pressure we put on them from the corners, we'd been working hard on our corners to be more of a threat. And I think a lot of corners came from corners because we were making them defend. Yeah, but they don't play with a lot of width. You know, apart from the number 5, I can't pronounce his name.
Yeah, Murray, yeah.
Yeah, but apart from him, they didn't really offer much width. You know, Armstrong on the left likes to come inside. Fullback stayed at home for most of the game. You know, they normally play a 5-2-1-2, so they don't have a lot of width. They rely on really getting the forwards in behind and working from there. But no, look, I think Sam Allardyce once said it's not about possession. It's not about you know, how many shots you've had on target and how many opportunities from corners or set plays you've had. The main stats are shots on target to beat the keeper, and I think we've had a few opportunities in the first half where I think Reece had a great chance and he's pulled it wide, and I think I just, like I said, there was a little bit of bits missing in players, a couple of players who are not fully fit, a couple of players who can't play when they're tired, a couple of players who forget what we've done on the training ground, you know, when they get a little bit fatigued or they still think that they kind of know better. So there's a few little bits and pieces we need to iron out, but we're not going to go. I didn't go in and roll at the lads. I just said to them, look, I'm so disappointed for them because they put in a massive effort, but unfortunately, effort isn't everything. It's about craft, guile, a little bit of quality, and that's why I've said about the likes of Paul Turnbull coming in, that we need a player who's got craft, guile and a bit of experience, a little bit of know-how, because we've got a couple of players who run around without much thought for what they're trying to achieve, and we need to move those kind of part-time, semi-professional type players out that don't learn from experiences, don't get stronger from what, you know, because they don't want to train harder, and start moving towards a new type of professional at the club. It's the only way we're going to go forward.
I was listening to your quotes before the game. I got the sense that you'd have been disappointed if you'd drawn today. You were looking for the 3 points, and is that the reason perhaps later in the game were you leaving gaps at the back because you were throwing everything at it?
No, I think it was that would be unfair on the back. We always had an extra player at the back, and with Paul coming on, there was always a danger with the 2 centre forwards that we could be 2v2. But you know, look, without criticising anybody, I thought the ball went up and came back. There wasn't any real intensity in midfield. For about 20 minutes in the first half, we were getting on top of them in midfield, and then the likes of Jimmy and Harry decided to sit in their shape. And then Matty was trying to fight 2 players for the ball, and they were clever enough to just pick up the ball and move it to the spare defender and then build from there. And I think it was that intensity, you know, in terms of that the front players, our front players, didn't really create breaking ball for each other, didn't really play off each other, and then the support play wasn't strong enough to keep the ball in there, which I think they're very good at doing that. So, and I think that's just a question of like players who perhaps are a little bit more fatigued and then can't do both phases and make poor decisions. And no, so I wouldn't say it was that we didn't particularly do anything to. We weren't playing dangerous. Yeah, of course, if you throw Clarkey up front for the last few minutes, but by that stage they've got no forwards on the pitch anyway. So you're really playing, you know, a more aggressive shape because they're playing 5-5-none. But no, I didn't think that was a thing. I think it's just the element of them continuing to play the shape, continue to do things right, and then just keep probing and asking questions. And the ball came back a little bit more in the first half. So sorry, in the final minutes, but. Looking at the overall, I thought, like I said, I can only commend the players for a massive effort. I thought Clarkey did himself justice today. Stotty was fantastic. Duxbury had a solid game. I think I was really pleased with Paul Turnbull. I'm delighted that Reece is looking a little bit fitter. There's a few other lads that maybe need a little bit of freshness, a little bit more fitness, and I think that we'll only get stronger and stronger. In terms of what we wanted to achieve from the next 3 games, we did target 7 points. We would have settled for a point if that was the outcome of today, but that puts huge pressure on us to beat Boston and Gainsborough, and you only have to look at the results. You know, Gainsborough learning how to lock up. And this is what I said in
Yeah.
my programme notes. I mean, people don't often read them, or they read them and just, you know, don't see the messages. The messages that a lot of teams like Brackley will come here, sit tight, be happy with a point, and then see that as a something that will help them in their quest to stay in the league, or to consolidate their position in the playoffs or mid-table. And the real onus is on us, and what we need to do is protect ourselves from conceding, but by and large I think we need to have far better quality, far better intensity in our front play, and like I said, if we do that, then we'll create more opportunities, and then we've got players that can come off the bench. Because what I want to do, I knew the nature of the pitch today, that it was going to be tough for those that started, but when you look at our bench with Steve-O and Bully and Gaz and Darren, you think, well, if I can get those players on the pitch when they're a little bit tired, you think they make a difference. But unfortunately, I can't compensate for other players who are fading and not being able to stay strong for the final 50 minutes to push on for that win.
You've dropped a couple of places now in the league table today. Are the playoffs out of reach? Are they out of question this season?
No, I don't think so. I don't know all the results of Kidderminster of last York playing Kidderminster. There's loads of twists and turns. When I first came in here, and we had a really good run, we had, I think, 5 wins and a draw. This is a team that had, I think, won 1 game in 11 or 16 or whatever it was. And I came in, we got 5 wins. It took us a couple of weeks to get going, but then we got 5 wins and a draw, and everybody started talking about us being in the playoff hunt, even though we were 9 points adrift. I think what we need to do is just, you know, try and keep the negativity away from people, try and keep positive, just keep working hard to get the best out of each game, and then if we do that, then we can sit at the end of the season saying that we gave ourselves, put every effort in to try and get maximum points. We'll just take one game at a time. I think there'll come a point when it'll mathematically not be possible. There'll probably be a point when it's not in our own hands. But what we want to do is regardless of what happens this season, we want to keep getting better players. We want to continue to keep working hard on the training ground and in matches, and finish the season strong, because this is very much not just the run-in for this season, but the preparation and the pre-season for next season.
Great. Thanks for your time.
Welcome.
Cheers.